organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, the IMU's facelift is nearly finished. We'll give you the update on when the renovations will be complete.
And we'll see what the buzz was all about at the Papa John Business Building today.
And in sports, we bring back our courtside show with an inside look at this Saturday's men's basketball rematch against Wisconsin.
We've got that and more coming up next.
This is Daily Iowan TV.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle Nago.
And I'm Mary Caldwell.
32 inches of water flooded the IMU basement in 2008. Now 7 years later, it's getting a replacement. But many students still don't know what it even looks like. So we sent out Daily Iowan TV's Austin Love to check it out.
I'm here with Associate Director of the IMU, Corey Lockwood, and he's going to give us a deeper look at the construction going down at the IMU. Want to go check it out, Corey? Let's go. All right.
Walking through the hallways might not look like much now, but when completed, the IMU will be home to many student hotspots. Those hotspots include Hills Bank, the Hawkeye Room, a new food court, and a bookstore.
We're standing in what's going to be the Iowa Hawk Shop or the University Bookstore. This area of the store, you'll have your apparel items. It splits off to a T in the back where you'll have your other product mix of textbooks, electronics, things like that. And then up front, we have the cashier area.
Destroyed in the 2008 flood, this area was once a swimming pool.
And on this floor, we're in about the 36 to 42 inch range. So along here, we're right about at that level.
The IMU was flooded 7 years ago, and Lockwood said that they had one big issue in getting this $27 million project going.
FEMA, this being a FEMA project and going through all the channels and the governmental tape with that.
But now, he is just looking forward to getting students in the door.
We're just excited to have more space for students.
Well, as you can see, the construction of the IMU ground floor is well underway. Look forward to it being open for student use in August. Austin Love, Daily Iowan TV.
The IMU is part of the major flood recovery going on all over campus.
The Board of Regents released their agenda yesterday, and they have several items to discuss next week. The board is taking a look at the update for the UI's tier project. They will be giving an update on the UI president search, and a new business analytics program at Iowa is up for approval. They will be discussing this at the board meetings next Wednesday.
Whitewater rafting won't be coming to Iowa City after all. The City Council decided last night the plans for creating a whitewater course were too expensive. Last year, the City Council hired the McLaughlin Whitewater Design Group to make a course below the Burlington Street Dam on the Iowa River. City officials are having a meeting today on how the riverfront by the treatment plant can be improved.
As the semester begins, students are already starting to think about job and internship applications for this summer. Tippie College of Business is showing students how they can look outside the United States for some opportunities. Today, the College of Business provided students with the International Business Day, or what they like to call Worldview Wednesday. Programs across campus have come to show business students opportunities to study abroad, intern abroad, and work abroad.
People go out into their careers and their jobs, they're inevitably going to be working with people from other cultures and often might be sent abroad to do jobs. And it's actually so important now to have some global perspective and global experience before you graduate.
To finish off Worldview Wednesday, Tippie will be providing 50 students a cross-cultural communication workshop provided by Center for Citizen Diplomacy.
Iowa City students may need to find a new way to get to school in the future. The Iowa City School District is discussing budget cuts that would eliminate discretionary bus routes for Iowa City school districts. This means the free busing the district provides to students living in areas 2 to 3 miles from the school would decrease. This is because they are envisioning less supplemental state aid funding for the 2015 to 2016 school year. The school board would rather limit busing than hurting students in the classroom.
Still to come on Daily Iowan TV, we have a blast from the past. We're taking a look at previous UI presidents.
And in sports, we'll take a look at the men's basketball rematch against Wisconsin coming up this weekend. So let's throw it over to Megan Coble in the weather studio to see how the weather's going to be for the next couple days. Megan?
Well, ladies, surprise, surprise. Tomorrow is going to be another cold January day here in Iowa City. The morning will kick off in the mid-30s with partly cloudy skies. Thursday afternoon will stay in the 30s, but with strong winds, you might want to bundle up a little more. The temperature will stay put in the evening and winds will slowly die down. This upcoming weekend, we will see clear skies on Friday and a high in the 40s on Saturday. Sunday will be a cloudy day, but on the bright side, it looks like the chance of snow has gone away. By Monday, the skies will clear, but temperatures will drop way down to a mere 14 degrees. That's all I have in the weather studio. Back to you two at the desk.
Thanks, Megan. And it's the end of an era for University of Iowa President Sally Mason, who is retiring at the end of this semester. To mark the occasion, we're taking a look back at the most notable presidents of the university. Reporter Kramer Anderson has the details.
Starting from the beginning, Amos Dean became the first president of the University of Iowa in 1855, 8 years after it was founded. 28 years later, Charles Schaefer became the 7th president of the university and the first president who sensed what a modern university would be. Succeeding Schaefer, George McLean was considered to be a modern administrator who helped transform the university and establish it among the nation's leading public universities. Thomas McBride became the 10th president in 1914. Although he only served 2 years as president, McBride served the campus for more than a half a century as a scholar, conservationist, and administrator. Following McBride, Walter Jessup was a leading figure who improved and enlarged the university. During his 18 years as president, the campus expanded from 42 to 324 acres, and the faculty nearly doubled. Eugene Gilmore was the 12th president of the university. Even though he served as president during the Great Depression, the campus experienced substantial growth during his presidency. By far the longest-serving president of the university, Virgil Hancher led for nearly a quarter of a century. During his time as president, the university underwent a period of unprecedented growth. Mary Sue Coleman became the first woman president of the university in 1995. Coleman also served as a professor of biochemistry and biological sciences during her presidency. And now back to our current president, Sally Mason. With Mason retiring from her position, the university is looking for the next person to serve as president. Kramer Anderson, reporting from Iowa City.
Sally Mason is set to retire on July 31st. After that, she may decide to become a professor at the university.
College funds are getting more money in the bank. President Barack Obama has dropped his plan to end tax breaks for popular college savings accounts called 529s. The accounts are mostly used by middle-class families who have some money saved up for college. The decision has bipartisan support in Congress, including support from House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi.
President Obama also has other things on his mind. He's now trying to prevent certain illegal immigrants from being deported. The Obama administration is officially ordering immigration agents to question immigrants before deporting them. The president announced a program in November that allows parents with children who are U.S. citizens to apply for work permits in the U.S. Attorney General nominee Loretta Lynch supports the president's action because she believes that an illegal immigrant has the right to work.
The country of Jordan has agreed to negotiate a trade with the terrorist organization ISIS. Jordan will release a female suicide bomber who has been in custody since 2006 in exchange for a Jordanian pilot captured in Syria last month and a Japanese journalist. This move has sparked debates about the U.S. policy on negotiating with terrorists after the U.S. traded 5 Guantanamo prisoners for Sergeant Bo Bergdahl's freedom last year.
It'll be a big weekend in sports with not just the Super Bowl on Sunday, but the Iowa men's basketball team will also be in action on Saturday.
Whitney Blakemore and Jalen Socek have everything you need to know about the matchup in this week's Courtside Show.
Thanks, ladies. Men's hoops will be squaring off against the Badgers of Wisconsin once again on Saturday, but this time they'll play host inside Carver Hawkeye Arena.
The Hawks were unable to get the W the first time around, being completely blown out of the water by Bo Ryan's squad in Madison, but we take a look at the numbers going into this matchup.
Iowa-Wisconsin series overall is a close one, with Wisconsin edging Iowa just 81-79. And the series gets even closer than that, with the last 7 meetings being decided by 7 points or fewer. However, Wisconsin has come out on top in the last 4 meetings. But when the Hawkeyes traveled up to Madison this season, the usual competition disappeared as they were blown out by the Badgers 82-50. Wisconsin came out shooting 9 3-pointers and only gave up 1 turnover to lead by as much as 34 points just over a week ago. If the Hawkeyes want a chance to split this season, they're going to have to stop Wisconsin's star senior Frank Kaminsky. The forward averages 17.2 points and is shooting at 53% this season. Not to mention he's backed by 2 other Badgers, Sam Decker and Nigel Hayes, who are averaging double digits per game. Iowa will have to answer to every Wisconsin drive and then some, as well as have star performances defensively from centers Adam Woodbury and Gable Lashany in the paint if they even want to stand a chance to beat the #1 team in the Big Ten. It will be an early one Saturday as Iowa and Wisconsin will tip off inside Carver at 11 a.m.
It won't be just a rematch for the Hawks, but it'll be another opportunity for Wisconsin transfer Jared Utoff to beat his old team for the first time. Taylor Mathis takes a look at the junior who's averaging over 11 points.
Just 2 years ago, junior Jared Utoff called himself a red-shirted Wisconsin Badger. Flash forward to today, and Utoff is a starting forward for the Hawkeyes. And Coach Fran McCaffrey believes he has become a prominent piece in Iowa's game.
He was aggressive, and that's what I want him to be. You know, he hit some pull-up jumpers early, then he hit the big 3. And when he's playing like that, we're a better team.
As the Hawkeyes have recently headed into a swarm of Big Ten play, Utoff has propelled the team offensively with wins over Ohio State, Nebraska, and completed a game-winning jumper against Minnesota, which has seemed to really boost his confidence.
Coach had faith in me and knocked the last shot down, and he called a play for me, and luckily it went in. It's huge for our confidence. It's huge for our morale. Looking forward to the upcoming games.
His success this season awarded him Big Ten Player of the Week earlier this month. But since then, the Hawkeyes have fell into a 2-game losing streak. Utoff and the Hawkeyes need to regain their fire as they face off against Utoff's old stomping grounds this Saturday. This is Taylor Mathis for Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Here's what former teammate Kaminsky had to say prior to the season about playing against Utoff.
To play against him for a year, I know he's a good inside-outside player. He can do a lot of things. He can shoot the ball very well. He can also has a very good post-up game. So it's going to be difficult to match up with him, but I'm sure we'll prepare for them.
The Hawks could find the rematch increasingly difficult with the possibility that they'll be without their lead man, Aaron White. We'll hand it over to Taylor Brooks for an insight on White's injury.
Thanks, ladies. Aaron White is always one to make a statement on the court by drawing fouls in the lane and putting defensive pressure on the ball. But this past Saturday, that physicality got the best of him when he ran into Purdue's Kendall Steffen early in the first half, leading to him sitting out for the rest of the game. Aaron White has continued to be Iowa's right-hand man this season as he averages 15.1 points and 6.6 rebounds a game, and leads most statistics amongst the team with attempted free throws, points produced, and his defensive rating. This makes it almost impossible for Iowa to replace what White brings to the table. When the collision at Purdue occurred, it was said that White had some type of stinger in his shoulder, meaning when a stinger happens, it is an injury to the nerve supply of the upper arm, either at the neck or shoulder, causing an electric shock that goes down the arm. Even though it's known that the injury is temporary, White is still said to be day by day when it comes to if he's going to play on Saturday at Carver Hawkeye Arena. With White potentially being out, this opens up new opportunities for players to step up. Players like Dom Ewell will most likely grab some of White's minutes if he isn't able to go on Saturday. With an almost sold-out game on Saturday, I'm sure the Hawks will hope to see number 30 on the court.
Thanks, Taylor, and I know we also hope that White will be healthy in time for the game, but that will actually wrap up this courtside preview. But be sure to check out tomorrow's Matt Side show as the wrestling team will travel to Minnesota Friday to take on the second-ranked Gophers for the 100th time.
Mary and Michelle, back to you at the desk.
And before we leave you, GoDaddy was forced to pull their Super Bowl ad Tuesday after receiving negative feedback. The ad shows a lost puppy trying to find his way home. When he finally made it home, his owner had sold him using a GoDaddy website and shipped him off. The ad outraged animal rescue groups and PETA, and a petition collected more than 42,000 signatures in a single day.
Well, that's all we have for you tonight on Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, same time, same place.
I'm Michelle Nago.
And I'm Mary Caldwell. Thanks for watching,
and have a great night.